So one of the best ways that we can run an e-commerce store on Google Ads is by creating a shopping campaign. So shopping campaigns work fantastically well. Even in 2026, I often create shopping campaigns. And then when you understand how to create these and then optimize them, you can find they're very, very consistent with the results that you can get. So in today's video, I want to focus on how we can create a shopping campaign. And then from there, you can then optimize it based off of the data points. So what we need to understand is if we've got a website, say a Shopify or a WooCommerce, what we need to do first of all is connect that feed, which runs through from the website to a Google Merchant Center. And then from a Google Merchant Center, that then runs through to your Google Ads. So what I want to do is just create a screen share, and then we can actually go through this simple process. And then we'll then go in and create a shopping campaign based on best practice in 2026. So what we need to do is come into, this is a Google Ad account. And then what we need to do is click on the left-hand side, click on Tools. And then here you'll see Data Manager. Click on Data Manager. And then from here, you can see I've connected the Google Merchant Center already. But what you need to do if you haven't connected it is come down to the bottom, click on Search All if you can't see that here, and just search for the Google Merchant Center. And then from here, you then connect that up. So what that looks like, because I've got this connected already, we click on that. And then from here, what we want to do is make sure we've got the feed running into the actual account. So from here, we'll connect on the feed and then make sure that we have all this data running correctly. Once that's done, then what we need to do is create the actual shopping ad. So let's jump into the campaign again, and we'll jump into this account and actually create a campaign that we can run for our shopping. So from here, what we need to do is click on the plus button and then click on New Campaign. And then from here, we'll see a number of options. So what we want to do is click on the shopping campaign. Now, some videos or some people will tell you not to click on sales. Obviously, we want to run sales because it's e-commerce, but you can run without a specific goal. But personally, I like to just click on sales. It just keeps things very, very straightforward. And then from here, we've got a lot of actions, but we can literally, if we come into on the right-hand side, remove converted leads. This doesn't actually remove it from the whole account. It just removes it from this particular campaign. And again, you could do this later on, but again, it's just simple as that. And then once we're here, we just click on continue. And then from here, what we want to do is click on the campaign that we want to run. So for this account, it's a shopping campaign. And then again, from here, it says add products in this group. You'll select your merchant center. So you would have connected your merchant center already. So all you need to do is connect, click on this, click on your actual product feed that runs from your WooCommerce or your Shopify, comes into the merchant center, and then the merchant center, it comes into your Google Ads. And again, we see this option. We can continue with a shopping campaign, or we can continue or switch to Performance Max. For this, we're going to continue with a shopping campaign. And again, we can name this. I always recommend naming so you know exactly what's going on. So you could do shopping all, or break it down into whatever naming convention suits your particular product you're trying to sell. But remember, nobody else will see this. It's only for your kind of understanding of what's going on with the campaign. So we click on the next button. And again, what we need to do is we create the budget. So for this particular example, the product is coming out at average average CPC is around four to £5. So based off of that, if we want to then times that by 10, which will give us a budget of about £50 a day, we know that we want to generate 10 clicks a day. And that's why I'm working out the maths. Once you know the CPC, this is where you can then figure out how much budget you need to run to get a minimal amount of data. Now, if you're running, say, £500 a day, that's absolutely fine. But for those who are trying to figure out what's the optimal or what's a good base of a way that we can start on the budget, this is what I do. Look at the CPC, your average CPC, times it by 10, and then that will give you your budget that you need per day, because we want to be generating at least 10 clicks in a day. And then moving forward, other metrics, we want to be getting at least 30 conversions over 30 days. So for here, I'm going to put 50 a day. And then again, as we come in here, bidding strategy, we can do manual CPC, manual cost per click, or we could do maximize clicks. I'm going to leave it on manual CPC, but obviously what we're trying to do is get the campaign once we initially get going. We want to take it to a target ROAS bidding strategy as soon as possible. But we need to go through this to get to where we want to, which is our final destination. And then from here, what we need to do is this section, we're going to leave low priority, medium or high. If you're running one campaign, then you can just leave this on low. Recommended if you have only one shopping campaign. Where this comes into effect, if you wanted to, say, run a feed, and then from that feed you started to segment based on, say, winning products or products that potentially weren't selling, what you could do is create a second ad group or a second feed, so a second campaign, and then you would then make sure that one of these is low default and the other one will be high. So there's a separation, and that's how you separate the campaigns. If you've got sort of 500, 1,000 different products that you're selling, I would definitely look to segment, because you don't necessarily want 1,000 products running through a feed. You want to make sure that we're segmenting the data to get the very best out of our campaigns. And what we're doing is making sure the budget runs to those products that we're selling well. And then from there, the ones that potentially aren't, we can then create a second ad group, or we could create a second campaign based on what I'm seeing. So I'm going to leave this as one. And then as we come through, what we want to do is we're going to just leave this for United Kingdom for targeting. We're going to click on no. And again, more settings. I'm going to leave, this is something I want to just make sure. Search networks is not something that I recommend either for a search campaign or a shopping campaign. So I'll definitely look to turn this off. Placements is going to be non-domiciled domains and things like AOL and other partners that we don't necessarily want our ads, and we don't have a lot of control over where our shopping campaign will be seen if the search network is on. So I would definitely look to turn this off. And again, I don't plan to use, turn that off. And then what we do is click next. For here, again, we could just name the ad group based on what we're looking to sell. So for this, the ad group that we are looking to promote, we could say this could be, I don't know, we'll say chairs as an example. And again, for this, the average cost per click. So what you would do, so we know the cost per click is around, we said between £4 and £5. What I would do would increase that by at least sort of like 20-30% to give it a little bit of leeway. So if it's £4 to £5, I would put this, say, around £7. Sorry, let me just move that here. I would put this around the £7 mark to make sure that we're giving it a little bit of leeway to move around. Probably I'm going to change this actually, because you wouldn't have chairs at this price. Let's put we'll put a brush, hairbrush. There we go. So brush or hairbrush is fine. And again, we can see this is the product feed running through. And again, if we then click on next, and then basically this campaign is ready to launch. So once you've launched this, I'm gonna publish this right now. We'll get this launched, and then what we want to do is, once this is done, let me see. Let me do shopping and let me do publish this, and then what we want to do then is I want to show you how you then segment the products based on what we're seeing. So what we need to do is Google will just give you the one product feed coming through. What we need to do is break this down into segments, so then we can further optimize the campaign. So what we need to do from here is click on this plus, add a subdivision, and again, what we can do is break it down by either item ID, or we can product type depending, or custom labels. If I break this down by item ID, and then what we do, click on the campaign, and then we just, here we go, click on these and then continue to edit the bio and then save. And this will then break down your product feed. So then you know where you need to turn off the products that potentially aren't working. And then the ones that are, you just leave them. And then from here, once you do that, you can see exactly where the data is. But Google allowed you to do it, but it's not added as a default. So make sure if you're running a shopping campaign that you're breaking these down so you know exactly what products are working and you can further optimize. And that's kind of it for a shopping campaign. You obviously need to optimize, which I'm going to create another video on. But if you want me to look at your shopping campaign or your Google ads, I'm always happy to. I offer a 30-minute free, no obligation call, and I can jump in, look at your overall strategy, whether it be Google, Meta, whatever you're running, and we can work out the best strategies to get you the best results. But this is as simple as you can get with a shopping campaign. But just remember, the key things is your feed optimization, the titles, And then on top of that, once you create the campaign, make sure you break it down by item so you can see exactly what data points are working, and then you can further optimize based off of that.